Hey everyone, let's dive right into this explainer and completely demystify exactly how ChatGPT was built. And don't worry, we aren't going to be staring at boring lines of code today. Instead, we're going to explore the fascinating journey of how researchers essentially raised an artificial intelligence. It's an amazing story about massive scale, complex problem solving, and honestly, the absolutely vital importance of the human touch. So let's start with part one, the chatbot problem, and why early AI really struggled. You know how frustrating human-computer interaction used to be before ChatGPT, right? Old chatbots were so incredibly limited because they processed language word by word. Imagine trying to read an entire book while looking through a tiny drinking straw. By the time those old bots reached the end of your sentence, they had literally forgotten how it started. They just had absolutely no sense of the bigger picture. Which brings us to part two, the transformer breakthrough, teaching AI to actually connect the dots. Okay, the real game changer hit back in 2017. A revolutionary research paper came out introducing a brand new engine called the Transformer. And you don't need to be a programmer to get this. Just imagine an engine that finally lets the AI look at an entire paragraph all at once, instantly understanding the context and relationships of every single word simultaneously. It completely threw out that clunky word-by-word straw reading method forever. It's basically a simple three-step process. Step one, the AI ingests the whole text at once. Step two, it uses these mathematical attention mechanisms to weigh how all those words relate to one another. And step three, it uses all that rich context to accurately predict what the very next word should be. It basically became the world's most sophisticated game of autocomplete. Moving on to part three, scaling up, or reading the entire internet. With this incredible new engine built, the AI needed fuel. It needed to read, well, everything. By 2020, OpenAI released GPT-3, which was an absolute monster of a model containing a staggering 175 billion parameters. Think of parameters kind of like the neural connections in a human brain. This thing was 10 times larger and way more complex than anything that had ever existed before. And by digesting massive amounts of text from all across the internet, GPT-3 became what's called a few-shot learner. Simply by reading the web, it spontaneously developed these incredible abilities that it was never even specifically trained for. We're talking about translating languages, unscrambling complex words, doing math, and even writing articles so convincing that real human evaluators couldn't even tell a machine wrote them. But here is a vital lesson about AI. Bigger doesn't always mean better. Being incredibly well-read didn't automatically make the AI polite, truthful, or even helpful. Because let's face it, the internet is full of dark corners and bad information. These massive models just weren't aligned with human intent yet. Left unchecked, they could easily generate toxic or completely useless answers. That leads us perfectly into part four, learning manners and the power of human teachers. To fix all that toxic and erratic behavior, researchers realized that just throwing massive data at it wasn't enough. The AI needed manners. So, in 2022, they introduced reinforcement learning from human feedback. I know, it's a super complex name, but it's actually a simple idea. Human trainers began actively grading the AI's work, basically acting as private tutors to align the machine with what users actually wanted to see. This tutoring process worked a bit like this. First, human labelers wrote out the absolute ideal, perfect answers to specific prompts. Second, the AI practiced generating its own multiple options based on those prompts. And finally, humans ranked those AI options from best to worst. This constant scoring system finally taught the AI exactly what constitutes a helpful, safe response. And the results of this human tutoring were seriously staggering. In evaluations, a smaller model that was trained with human feedback, containing just 1.3 billion parameters, was consistently preferred by users over the massive, wild 175 billion parameter model. A model 100 times smaller won out. It proved conclusively that human feedback was the missing key all along. Okay, part five, capabilities and limitations, the reality of modern AI. So, this combination of massive reading plus human tutoring gave us the fluent, capable ChatGPT we all use today. But we've got to be real here, it is far from perfect. Recent research from Stanford actually shows that while AI can write complex code, AI agents completely fail at teamwork. Like, two models working together actually perform worse than one working alone. Plus, they're still highly fragile and can easily break down when asked about niche, regional news. And honestly, more concerning is the broader societal impact. As AI integrates rapidly into the global economy, independent audits are revealing a stark and widening gap. The technology is advancing far faster than society's ability to manage, evaluate, and govern it. Our regulatory frameworks are just straight up falling behind right now.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 6, the future of AI. Where do we go from here?
Knowing how it was built, its powers, and its limitations, we have to figure out how to build a human-centered framework for the future. And it's hard not to be amazed by the sheer speed of this progress. We've gone from the basic transformer engine in 2017 to massive scale in 2020 to human alignment in 2022. In just a few short years, human-computer interaction was permanently changed.
Considering this breathtaking evolution from rigid,